Good afternoon, everyone. I think everybody's here, so let's get started. My name is Jane Morris. I'm with Elephant Media, and I know we've been talking on the phone, so I'm very excited to be with you here today. I am recording from home, so you might hear some background noise or my cat. Let me just first say that I got the product, I got the perfume from Beauti, and I'm wearing it now. I'm really impressed. I love it. So it's always so much more exciting to work with a company when you're excited about the product and the project. So I am, and I just thought I'd share that with you. I've already sent you the agenda and the slides, so let's get started. Give me a second. And here we go. So everyone, thanks again for being here with me. My name is Jane Morris. I'm representing Elephant Media and Creative. And we're here to talk about the Beauti launch. And let's get started. So in the agenda, which you have, just to recap that, we're going to review the company and your goals, talk about who your target audience is, and do a creative presentation. Talk about some marketplace trends that are really important that our team found out, where the launch markets are, strategies we're going to incorporate, and the media platforms that we've decided on. Then we'll talk about the budget and the cost breakdown, and then at the end we can review any questions you have or talk about the next steps when we start the launch. So again, Beauti is a boutique fragrance coming from Gainesville, Florida. Go Gators. And you want to launch within 3 months and come out with a bang. Your goals. So your 3-month launch puts you around about the time of going back to school, around August 1st, and you want to reach a target audience en masse. You want to make a huge splash in the marketplace and increase your sales. We want to drive a lot of attention to social media and online presence and increase brand awareness overall. Some objectives and KPIs for Beauti that we're going to be tracking is that we want to get a 4% share of females in the 18 to 34-year-old age range. We'd like to obtain 700 gross rating points with our media. We want to increase brand awareness by 30% among female perfume buyers in the age range and overall reach 5 million consumers in the age bracket in all of the United States. Also, we'd like to have a very large social media presence, and we'd like to get 100,000 Facebook likes and shares. We want to increase your sales the first month by 20% and an additional 30% in the second month. 100 positive reviews on retail sites, and have 5 beauty bloggers highlight and review your product via video. So who is our target audience? Well, it's young ladies anywhere in the US, in particular in urban areas, 18 to 34 with a bullseye of 28. And she is very media savvy. She uses the internet and she watches a lot of online videos, including reviews. She's in her social media frequently, and she likes to shop both online and in department stores, and she doesn't mind spending money on herself. She's very confident. She has a sense of purpose. She knows what she wants and where she's going. She loves to travel, actually, with her friends or alone because she's adventurous. So she's very, very self-confident. And even if you find her in a small town or a rural area, she's a trendsetter for her friends and her community. So taking these ideas about your target audience, we wanted to put together creative to create that atmosphere, because a visual image is so very important in perfume sales. We want a woman what she looks like when she's wearing the perfume or what she feels like. We wanted to have a variety of cultural and ethnic backgrounds with edgy atmospheric images and represent a woman who's an adventurer. So here's our first layout with the tagline, "Stay as you are," because there's a lot of pressure to conform, but she's very independent and she's going to do things her own way. She's confident and she's not afraid to express herself. And she's got substance, she's intelligent, and she's in touch with herself. She knows where she wants, and she knows where she's going. Beauty. So looking at the trends in perfume, it's very important to know that with the online platforms, there are fragrance clubs that allow customers to try before they buy with incentive to buy. It's very important that your sales team target those platforms because they in particular would be able to help a small startup because they're looking for niche and artisanal perfumes. And so there is an interest out there for very unique artisanal perfumes. Also, I think it's very important that you're homegrown, made in the USA, and there's definitely a niche for that kind of product. At the same time, prestige is incredibly important in perfumes. I mean, you're competing with big beauty names and fashion names. So it's important to stress that you're accessible on that earthy level, but that you're also glamorous. And our research insights also shown that reviews and blogger reviews have a huge impact. So it's very important to generate word of mouth with bloggers and allow customers to try before they buy. And luckily, your perfume's on the sweeter side, and that is definitely what your target age that is definitely what your target age is interested in on the sweeter side. And they also like to have a variety of travel size or something at home. So you might want to think of a double size. So these are our insights, something that we've come up with that we want to point out to you. So for your launch markets, we really want to hit major fashion areas and shopping areas. So New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Miami. And then on the local side, we think it's important to have launch events in smaller areas with these more independent women. So we've chosen Gainesville, Portland, and Boulder. And what's really great is that these cities all have their own well-known beauty bloggers. And so how are we going to go about this? We want to create incredible buzz with word of mouth in your social media campaign, with people talking about your product and doing reviews. We also want to make sure that if somebody searches for beauty or perfume, that your spots come up on YouTube for pre-roll, or what these women are looking at, that they have the ad in those target markets. And then you want to have a presence on Amazon. We're going to hit the out of home in the urban centers, and we want to have local events in the smaller markets where you really can get in front of people and show off your product. Also, about the same time of your launch in Vegas is the Cosmoprof Beauty Convention, and we think it's important that you have a presence there. And try to get your product out to influential social media bloggers. Soki London and Jeremy Fragrance in particular are known worldwide for their fragrance reviews. Now, going with the media platforms, we have traditional and then we have digital. So for traditional, we're allocating 25% of your budget. Probably very important is that you get a presence in a glamour magazine, Vogue, Cosmo, Glamour, even Marie Claire. It's so very important to get your print into these formats. Women still go to them. They're a huge place to inform consumers about beauty and fashion products. That is your market. And so we definitely think you need to be present in these magazines. On the local side, we're hoping you can generate some buzz with your launch and the story of how your business came to be. It's homegrown, it's American. And so we think sending out a press release to your local paper would be a great way to get free promotion. For out of home in your major urban areas, we want to have a digital out of home. Anywhere you find the Apple Store is where you want to be advertising. So those are going to be areas with the trendy cafes, a lot of foot traffic, and they're going to be shopping areas. Having a digital sign in front of a metro when people are coming in and going out is super important. One of the cons is that sometimes we can't change those placements right away, and there's a lot of clutter. but we still think that it's important to have a presence there. And just to give you an idea, here's a sample. If you came out of a metro in New York City and you have a large presence, it's a very striking image. It's very clear what it is. And we can get 10 locations per month on your budget. Just a quick note about regular television or network television. We do not recommend it at this point because of the high price to be able to reach your target market. On the flip side, again, sending out a press release in the smaller cities about your local event would be a great way to get free promotion by having news interested. And again, that would be free. And then you would support any of your events on your social media. You get a lot of traffic driven to your events. Also, for those local events, you want to generate buzz on radio. And radio we would actually pay for because we want to be promoting your event well before the event. And we're going to, of course, be supporting that on your social media as well. If you can get an interview with a talk show or local talk show, or even public radio sometimes, because moms listen, you know, or dads listen, and they say, hey, honey, I heard about this perfume event. This is also a great way to go. So for your new media, we're allocating 75% of your budget. Online video, short format is one of the most important things. It's well within your budget to be able to produce a video. You told me you have your own team modeling and talking about the products. So I think that's a great way to go. To get that short video, we're going to be able to granularly target where it comes up in your local markets and do a pre-roll before people watch their video. Anything you do, again, you're going to repeat that in your website, on your YouTube, and your social media. What are the pros and cons of online video? Well, it's sight, sound, and motion, and it's highly engaging. And with the visuals we're coming up with, it's really going to intrigue people and create that atmosphere of what this perfume is. You'll have guaranteed impressions. It's much lower cost than television. And again, you can really target on your audience. Placement can be changed if we find it's not working. So we'll definitely be looking closely at the results. Some spots, however, are expensive, so we'll have to work on the balance of the two. Again, for your social media, you really want to have an active presence. You want to be looking at your social media and updating it, responding to consumers, and making sure all your video is working. And here's a sample of a banner. You can put these ads on all of your social media, LinkedIn, even if you have it. And just a sample with a click, so it could take her to an online retailer. Social media pros and cons. Well, again, social media is really connecting with your audience. So you want to get as many interested people on your social media sites and to like your product or talk about your product. It can be very niche and granular, and you can schedule things in a very particular way. And again, they can view it on their mobile devices so they can hear about it and go to a store right away and check it out. However, sometimes consumers don't want to watch all the videos. Banner ads for search. So if someone's doing a search on beauty products, we'd like your banners to come up. That can be targeted. Again, it can be quite expensive for top hits on Google search. Excuse me. So to give you an idea of what your ad may look like if it pops up on a phone full screen, and here you go. So we're going to talk about the budget now. You gave us a $2 million budget, and earlier I had sent you some of the media pricing. Again, you see that network television is quite expensive at $500,000 per month, so we're not recommending that. Digital video, $100,000, radio spots, $200,000 for 10 cities. Now we could probably play with reducing the number of cities. Digital audio, and again, print, $50,000 per magazine per month, and the digital banners also $50,000. So here I have two budgets for you. The first one in front of us in the white is the traditional media. and in the pink is digital. So as you can see, we're recommending the radio for all your urban or pop stations in all your areas. So your major areas and your minor, the big cities and little cities. It costs of $400,000. Because you're doing your launch, you're going to be having local events. It's really important to get the word out. And you know, even if your target market doesn't hear it, somebody might hear it and tell them. It can create a lot of word of mouth. And the next thing was super important in your magazines is that we recommend a two-part advertisement. We recommend the full page print, which is $50,000 per month per magazine. But look, your impressions are incredibly high at 22 million people because these magazines are so popular. However, because seeing an ad doesn't make people want to buy, we highly, highly recommend that you do a pull-out sniffer. These are those inserts that tear out and you can open it and smell the perfume. Talk about the ability to really get your product in front of somebody. They'll carry it with them to the store. They'll keep smelling it. It's twice as much, but we think it's not even something to question. To have that pull-out sniffer, again, another $100,000, but a very large reach. Doesn't mean everyone's going to smell it, but most likely they will. Your digital banners, there's a mistake. That should be 22,000 on the flat image. Digital banners, online search, 50,000 per month with estimated impressions of 8 million. And your online campaign, again, is going to really reach a lot of people because it's going to create a lot of buzz and hopefully bloggers talking, generate a lot of interest, 20 million estimated impressions. For your digital out of home, we'll go with JC Deco, and you can get 10 ads a month in 4 cities with 15 million impressions for a total cost of $400,000, another large figure. For your sponsorship tour, we did factor that in with a very minimal budget, and just in, you know, because we weren't sure exactly the extent of your, if you're going to sponsor an event or hold an event. And then your digital ad, 100,000, again, 20 million impressions for 200,000. Now the grand total is $1,705,000. So you've got a little bit left over because, you know, things will come up. Now, if you didn't want to go with the pull-out sniffer, we've got another option here for you to think about. TV advertisement, I did say it was too expensive, but instead of network, we're going to go with cable. Through DeRay Media, they said they could help us really target the audience you're looking for. It would be $250,000 a month in 10 cities. We might be able to play with that. And 20 million estimated impressions, so a total of 500,000 for the TV ad. We'd keep the digital banners, we'd keep the print ad in the magazine. We're going to get rid of the sniffer and keep the radio. And then the rest is the same, our social campaign, sponsorship tour, and video ad. This budget coming in just a bit less, $1,605,000. Again, things might change. You might want to add another ad in another city. You've got Boston, Washington, D.C., and Seattle. You know, there's other markets. We just didn't put them. We wanted to choose the most important fashion and beauty markets. But there are other markets to consider. So you have a little bit left over. So what are we going to be tracking during this time? Well, definitely for the first 4 weeks, we're going to be working with you very closely to track your social media likes and shares. We'd like to get a certain amount of impressions, 10 million on your Facebook, 5 million, excuse me, for your Twitter and Instagram. For your digital banners, we'd like to get 8 million in your video ad, 20 million. So we'll be watching the metrics and we'll make decisions. If we need to tweak something, that's something we can do. The gross rating points here is 330. But that's not all. We still have the gross rating points for your magazine ad and the billboard and television, which is 710. So that's actually over 1,000. So we're aiming high. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to aim high, and then we're going to make adjustments, which we can do easily. Not the magazine ad, but with some of the digital media, we'll be able to play with that. So we'll be in close touch with you while the campaign is launching. And so I'd just like to wrap up that, again, we're going to be working with you very closely for the first few weeks to track your metrics and see if we're reaching our goals. If your sales goals are great, then we'll continue. If not, we'll make some changes. Evaluate strong and weak markets. And if we need to, we'll change our digital media targets. And then hopefully we can start talking about your next campaign and, you know, see about broadening or changing direction on the cities that we target. So I'd like to end and say thank you and open up for questions. If there's no questions, then we can conclude this meeting, and I'll be talking with you real soon. Thank you so much, and have a great day.